voice. Well, just an incredible matchup. I mean, this is what you want for women's basketball. Eyes on us. Thought it was an incredible game. Hats off to Maryland. Thought they played a tough game. And Diamond Miller with an incredible shot. I felt like, collectively, the first half, foul trouble, just really trying to keep our resilience with the foul trouble. I think that's something that has been an issue for us. But again, I think just the matchup, the game was spectacular. I felt it came down to that incredible shot. We found a way, late game situation, to make plays and execute, which I was really, really pleased with. But defensively, we just have to show better effort for 40 minutes. And I felt like Maryland was tougher than us this evening. And that's something that we have to grow from, take this lesson, and move on for obviously an incredible opponent on Sunday versus UConn. You know what? I felt like she got into her spots. Either transition, it was something that we've been working on, transition defense, off the rebounds. She scored on all three levels. She was just so active and so aggressive offensively. She would miss shots and go get her own rebound. She just had a night. It was one of those nights, and I just got to find someone on this team that can lock defenders, play defense enough to lock down offensive players when they're having a night like that.
How tough was it, obviously, Libya picking up that fourth foul, and then, were you trying to, how hard was that trying to manage her minutes there at the end of the game and bringing her back in when you did?
Yeah, you know what? We've had some foul trouble this season, so I've had to adjust with a couple different players. I know with my team that if somebody goes down, we have backups or somebody else that can run the point. I thought Sonia was amazing today, so I put the ball in her hands a lot. Dara's been helping back up the point as well. Thought KK did a great job as well. So we've had moments where we've had to have a different person running the point. It was kind of point guard by committee when she got in foul trouble. Yeah, I mean, I felt like, especially when you turn the ball over, it's a momentum killer, momentum booster for them, Maryland, especially because they were capitalizing on our mistakes, something we've been working on every day. Passing defensively, passing away from the defense is working on that. But, yeah, it definitely kind of got us out of our rhythm. Offensively, we couldn't really get it going.
You touched on, KK had a kind of a step up today. I don't know if it really showed up on the stat sheet, but definitely felt like today was kind of perhaps the biggest role she's taken on this season. What do you see from her today, especially given her role as a freshman and stepping up in a game like this?
Yeah, they played a couple different things defensively. The matchup kind of slowed us down. So heading into the halftime, I thought we found her. She made some big buckets in short corner that really gave us a boost. She's been growing every game, a little bit more confident, a little bit more comfortable with what we're doing. I'm so pleased with what she's given us defensively. She's getting deflections, got one in the backcourt. So I can't say enough about what she's giving. She's giving such a great spark off the bench on offense and defense.
You ran out a couple of different looks defensively, going zone in the second half a little bit. Can you talk about what you saw maybe switch up defense and how you felt that changed the game?
Yeah, you know what? I was trying to change the rhythm a little bit. They play five guards, and I knew that we had a couple drivers, more players that attack the basket more so than shooters. So I wanted to throw something different at them. So I thought that was really good. It would change the rhythm when we were in the Bahamas, something that I was going to continue looking at. But then, we lost them for a couple possessions with offensive rebounds or cuts to the basket. So I definitely wanted to switch it up. So I thought that was effective.
How about your work against their zone?
Yeah, from the first half, I felt like it really stifled us. It's the first time we've seen a matchup this year. And then we finally figured out getting the spots that we were working on and the spots that were open. I thought we did well, but it definitely slowed us down the first quarter. The second quarter, towards the 5-minute mark in the second quarter, I felt like we finally kind of got into what we've been working on, which was great, and I thought they showed more man-to-man in the second half.
When you're in a physical game like that, sometimes a lot of calls not going your way. What's your message as a coach? How do you feel your team responded to sort of the things that are going on in it?
Yeah, I really focus on talking about just defense and toughness. I thought that we had no 50-50, getting loose balls. I felt like they were getting every 50-50 ball, every loose ball. So I really challenged the team at the timeout, had to call timeouts just to really talk about focusing on, like I said, extra plays, effort plays, multiple effort plays. And I felt like they listened. Mostly in the second half, I feel like they turned it up a little bit more. But just talking about effort and not getting out-hustled, and I felt like Maryland did that for a majority of the game.
Until Miller kind of shushed them at the end, it seemed like the crowd was giving you guys some energy, especially in the late moments there in the fourth. What did you make of the turnout for a top 20 game like this?
Oh, I loved it. I feel like obviously we always want to protect our house, so that was unfortunate, part of our goals. But again, I feel like our community has always supported women's basketball, Notre women's basketball, and I'm so grateful that they're supporting this group and supporting me. And that's what we're always trying to do. We're trying to feed off of our crowd. The energy is what feeds us. And we were really excited we are super excited about being home, for these next 2 games. And so we're excited to have another opportunity this Sunday to really show up and show out for our fans. But I loved it. I love the energy. They were awesome. They've been great all season and all that. Past couple of years, obviously COVID didn't get a chance to have them there. So it's really important to what we're trying to build.
What's the message to the team over the next couple of days to try to take what happened here and get ready for what's an even bigger game on Sunday?
Yeah, today my lesson was, again, not to hang their head. That's my biggest thing. We got it, because this is super painful, super hurtful. We have to learn, we have to grow, take this experience and move on, learn from it. Obviously, we got a lot of work that we need to do in the next 48 hours. But take this lesson, take the experience of this and learn from it, and then get ready for UConn. It's not something that you can, with a schedule like we have, it's not something that you can hold on to. You have to individually be accountable for the game and for yourself, for this team, what we're growing and building, and then move on and get prepared for Connecticut.
I kind of have the same question, Coach, just about losing this type of matchup. How does it prepare you, throughout the season? Would you rather get the game like this out of the way now, early in the season?
Yeah.
Kind of build that mental and physicality.
Yeah, like a game like this, first ranked opponent, obviously ACC Big Ten Challenge, a huge game, huge opportunity on ESPN2, and having these type of games early, having a really tough non-conference schedule, it can only help us for ACC, and hopefully down the road in the NCAA tournament. It's something that we'll never forget. It's something that we can, especially because the way that they played, it's something that we can take this entire season when we see a different matchup that's very similar to this. I always talk about, every loss is a lesson, and just growing from that and taking from this experience and utilizing it for down the road this season.
Sonya, for you, just as far as, at least being able to get in rhythm today, assign your spots, what was that like, to give the team an offensive part?
Yeah, I want to help my team any way I can, so when my shots are hitting, especially from the 3 like they were today, I know it definitely gives me energy, and it just helps me play my best game, but, I just want to contribute in any way I can, and I was happy I was able to do that today.
Do one more. And then Coach Ivey kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but when Olivia goes out with foul trouble or whatever, does that sort of trigger something in you as one of the other primary ball handlers to kind of have to step up a little bit, or what's your mental thought process?
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely working on that, and Coach Ivey has been drilling in me just to be more confident and be comfortable with the ball in my hands, especially when Liv, let's say like today, is on the bench. I need to be comfortable with, let's say, being the point guard or starting the player at the end of the shot clock, just having the ball in my hands, and I just need to get more comfortable doing that, and I think today really challenged me to do that, and I'm going to be ready to keep doing that if need be throughout the season. I just have to be ready for that.